And today, I might step on a few toes. Matter of fact, I might step on my own because I want to ask you something. How are you asking God for a new chapter, but you keep going back and reading the old one? Think about it. You said you wanted something different. You said you were tired. You said, I can't keep doing this. You prayed for change. You cried about it. You lost sleep over it. You finally got enough courage to walk away from it. And now you're sitting there wondering if you should go back.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't into wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
You ask God for a new chapter. So why do you keep going back reading the same page? Welcome back to another Motivational Monday on the Breaking the Silence podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Nicole, and thank you so much for tuning in today. And today, I might step on a few toes. Matter of fact, I might step on my own because I want to ask you something. How are you asking God for a new chapter, but you keep going back and reading the old one? Think about it. You said you wanted something different. You said you were tired. You said, I can't keep doing this. You prayed for change. You cried about it. You lost sleep over it. You finally got enough courage to walk away from it. And now you're sitting there wondering if you should go back. Come on now. What are we doing? Last Motivational Monday, we talked about how you're allowed to start over. It's never too late to rewrite your story. But here's the part nobody likes to talk about. Starting over means eventually you've got to stop going back. You can't write chapter 10 if you keep flipping back to chapter 3. And that's what we're talking about today. Just because you missed something doesn't mean you need it back. Whew. Somebody needed that one, right? Because sometimes we confuse familiar with good. That relationship was familiar. That friendship was familiar. That job was familiar. That routine was familiar. That version of yourself was familiar. So when you finally leave it behind, everything feels strange because a new chapter hasn't become comfortable yet. You start thinking about the old one, fantasizing about the old one, romanticizing about the old one. And then suddenly you forget the arguments. You forget the stress. You forget how miserable you were. You forget those nights when you were sitting there saying, I can't do this anymore. Now you're remembering the two good Tuesdays out of the three terrible years you had. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. We do it. We'll sit there scrolling through those old pictures like, dang, we really had some good times. Yeah. But apparently something happened because y'all aren't together anymore. And I'm not just talking about relationships, y'all. Sometimes we're trying to go back to the old version of ourselves. You look at that old picture and you say to yourself, I used to be happy. But were you really? Or do you just remember differently now? Because sometimes distance makes the past look prettier than it actually was. Y'all know that. And that's where it gets uncomfortable. Some of us are living inside an answered prayer and complaining because it doesn't look like we expected. God, send me a good man. God, please let me get this job. God, y'all know we do it. We ask God to bless us and give us these things, and then we mishandle it, or it wasn't what we expected it to be. You ask for peace, but you didn't realize that peace might require losing some people, because it will. You ask for growth, but you didn't realize that growth might make certain environments uncomfortable. You ask for a new opportunity, but you didn't realize you have to become a beginner again. Got to start all over. You ask God to remove what wasn't meant for you. God, who's not meant to go with me to the next step, take them away. Then that one person that you wanted to be there for you was gone. And you're like, wait, don't take them, not my best friend, not my sister. But seriously, y'all know we go through that. God remove anybody from my life who doesn't belong. And then somebody stops calling. But hold on, God. Put that one back. No. You asked for a new chapter, remember? And sometimes a new chapter requires an ending. That's what makes starting over so hard. Everybody loves the idea of a fresh start, a new year, new year. Every year somebody said, new year, new me, when they still the same person they been for years. Nothing changed. New relationship, new business, new opportunity, new beginning. But what we don't talk about enough, y'all, is about the grieving period between the old life and the new one. Because sometimes you can know you made the right decisions in your life and still be sad about it. You can love somebody and still know they're not healthy for you. You can appreciate an opportunity and still know that you've outgrown it. Come on, somebody. You can appreciate who you used to be and still realize that person can't take you where you're trying to go. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're keeping the same people in our lives that we should have left a long time ago. Y'all know it. But let's get real for a minute. Because some of us aren't physically going backward, but mentally, we're living there. You're checking their page. You're rereading old messages. You're replaying conversations. You're wondering what you should have said. You're checking whether they viewed your story. You're checking whether they're happy without you. You're checking whether that job replaced you. You're checking whether somebody who hurt you finally got their karma. Come on, y'all. Close the book. Close the book. Because every time you do that, you're giving the old chapter new pages. And meanwhile, the life sitting in front of you isn't getting your full attention. That's the dangerous part, y'all. Sometimes your past doesn't actually come looking for you. You go looking for it. And then you wonder why you can't move forward in your life. You keep reopening the doors you work so hard to close. And sometimes it's not because you actually want what's behind the door. Sometimes you just want confirmation that closing it was the right decision that you made. You don't always got to get closure. And y'all, I used to be the type of person that felt like I needed closure. I need to know why somebody didn't like me. I need to know why somebody want to be in my life. I need to know why somebody walked out of my life. But sometimes closure is simply that didn't work for me anymore. That's enough. You don't need a dramatic final conversation. You don't need them to apologize. You don't need everybody to understand. You don't need them to admit what they did wrong. Sometimes you got to say, that chapter happened. I learned from it and I'm moving on. Okay? That's it. Your new chapter might be boring at first, but I'm serious. You leave chaos and peace. You leave dysfunction and stability. You're used to your phone blowing up. Now nobody's calling. You're used to arguing every night. Now the house is quiet. You're used to constantly putting out these fires that you didn't even start. Now nothing's burning. And instead of you enjoying the peace, you're sitting here thinking, something just ain't right. So boring. But something might finally be right. You've just been surviving for so long that peace feels suspicious. And this is where you've got to give your new life time. Don't abandon something healthy just because it doesn't give you the same adrenaline as something unhealthy. Don't quit your dream because 3 weeks into it nobody's paying attention. Don't stop creating because the views aren't there yet. Don't give up on yourself because your new beginning doesn't immediately look successful. New chapters take time to get interesting. Think about a book. When you open a book, all right, you don't open the book to chapter one and immediately know everything, right? You have to, the characters have to develop. You got to figure out who these people are. The story has to unfold so things can start connecting. Life works the same way. You don't need to know exactly how this chapter ends. You just need enough courage to keep turning the pages. And maybe that's the biggest lesson today. You keep trying to figure out whether you should go back without realizing you wouldn't even fit there anymore. You've changed. You've learned some things. You cried a lot of tears. You've made mistakes. You survived some stuff that you never thought you would survive. You discovered boundaries. Lord knows them boundaries are everything. You've learned what you're willing to tolerate and what you're willing to not tolerate. You've learned what you no longer want to do or deal with. So even if you went back, it would feel awkward. It wouldn't even be the same because you're not the same. And that's a good thing. So stop apologizing for going. Stop feeling guilty because everybody can't come with you. Stop shrinking yourself because somebody preferred the version of you who didn't have boundaries. Stop believing that starting over means you failed. You're allowed to press the start button again. Sometimes starting over means I finally learned a lesson, and that's growth. So before I leave y'all, I want you to think about something. What old chapter are you still reading? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's something that happened in your childhood, maybe it's a mistake you made, or maybe it's somebody you lost. Maybe it's a dream that didn't work out. Maybe it's a simple thing as the person you thought you were supposed to become. Whatever it is, you don't have to pretend it didn't happen. You don't have to erase it. You don't have to hate everybody from that chapter. You don't even have to regret it because those pages help create the person sitting here today. But you do have to recognize when the chapter is over, and I want you to hear me clearly and loudly. You are allowed to miss the old chapter without moving back into it. You are allowed to remember it without reopening it. You are allowed to appreciate what it taught you without repeating the lesson. And you are allowed to forward, go forward without knowing exactly what's waiting for you. So if you've been asking God for something new, a new beginning, a new opportunity, a new mindset, a new season, a new you, then maybe today's message is just that simple. Stop reading the old chapter. Turn the page. And this time, don't keep your finger on that last page just in case you want to go back. Take your hand off it and turn the page and see what happens next. Because maybe the chapter you've been praying for is the one you're finally about to live. I'm Arthur Nikki Nicole, and this has been another Motivational Monday on the Pregnant Silence podcast. And I want y'all to remember that your story matters, your voice matters, your life matters, and your next chapter matters too. So I'll see y'all next Monday. So until next time, you've got some new pages to write. Later, everybody.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space that'll raise my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate when I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.